What's up, everybody? So today we're gonna be reacting to a video called "Why Black America Hates Kai Cenat." And I just saw a video like a few days ago saying that Kai Cenat went on a live stream. I seen a clip where he said black people have no culture, and I feel like it was okay that he said that because he said how he felt, and even though it was wrong, we do have culture. It's I like that he's actually saying how he feels and he doesn't feel like he has to say the right thing all the time. And if he says something, he's saying what he really feels, and he can be corrected and change his opinion. That's how we should all be. Say how you feel. So if you're in the wrong, just like in a classroom, the teacher tells you that to raise your hand and say your answer, no matter if you feel like if you know for 100% you have the answer right or not. You gotta give your answer.
The only thing scarier than a white man is a black man that's trying to imitate whiteness through capitalism because there's nothing that he won't do in order to reach his goal of whiteness. I think this Target situation with AMP convinced me that almost all of them voted for Trump.
The day is Monday, January 20th, 2025. Donald Trump becomes the 47th president of the United States. And at this particular time, him and Elon Musk are still cool. Elon Musk, remember, is the head of Doge. And shortly thereafter, we got this particular announcement. DI stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion. And most companies like Facebook had this particular programs to pull minorities and other people into upper management positions. So you would see people like Caroline Wanga, who is now the CEO of Essence, benefited from this program when she worked at Target, but more to come with that. And so it benefited a lot of people, even white women, but black people also benefited in some way. And so this program was to guarantee that blacks would be represented in other groups in the professional landscape in upper level management. And then we found out that as a company, DEI was gone. It was optional. If you wanted to use it, you could. If you didn't want to, you could drop it. So Target said, Target dropped it. When Target dropped their DEI program, a lot of people got pissed. And we started seeing.
So from the statistics that I've heard, DEI benefited mainly white women. So I'm not sure why people would get pissed over something that they're not that's not achieving the goal that you're trying. I mean, you did give a an example where a black person was benefiting, but that doesn't mean that she helped the company more than I guess they gave her the opportunity. Who knows how effective it was? Let's see.
Levels of boycotts happening in early February in Minnesota. But there was a big boycott that was started around March 5th that was spearheaded by Pastor Jamal Harrison Bryant in Atlanta that was supposed to last for 40 days.
People are boycotting Target, and here's what you need to know. People are not shopping at Target for 40 days. The boycott started March 5th and runs till April 13th. So this is like a Target fast for Lent. And here's why you need to get behind it. In January, Target rolled back on their DEI initiatives. DEI is diversity, equity, and inclusion. Target literally stopped promotion goals for women and people of color. Is that a company that you want to support? Is that a company that you want to stand behind? I'm sorry, but it's time to give up Target. These people do not care about you. They only care about their dollars. You need.
I mean, as it's not really they're trying to make money for their shareholders. I mean, a lot of this stuff is just so stupid. Why does a company have to support like certain groups of people so bad? Why are you looking for Target to come support you? It's crazy.
To take control of your dollar and stop shopping there. Also, if you're investing in Target, sell your stocks. The organizer of this boycott is a pastor from Atlanta, and he
That's stupid because if you want to change something in Target, then wouldn't you want to have a bigger position in Target? You're not gonna bankrupt Target and make them disappear as a company. And people are still gonna shop at other places that don't have the same initiatives that you're looking for.
said that this is a fast for accountability, a fast for justice. Like, we cannot be okay with how Target is treating its employees. They're treating Black entrepreneurs.
Now, it could be debated if DEI helped Black people, and of course, I don't really think so, but didn't matter. I didn't think this DEI boycott at Target would work, but boy, was I wrong.
Black churches have come together to boycott Target for 40 days during Lent because the giant retail store rolled back its DEI initiatives. According to Retail Brew, Target experienced the 10th consecutive week of a decrease in foot traffic and a drop in its stock price. The Black Chamber reports Black people spend about $12 million a day at Target. Thanks to Placer AI, we can track foot traffic.
I just want to know, does Walmart have DEI? Walmart has rolled back its diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. The company has ceased using terms like DEI, ended participation in major DEI benchmarks, and discontinued initiatives like Center for Racial Equity. These aren't things that a company should have to invest in.
At Targets in the Carolinas.
I'd rather them invest in paychecks for for the employees. Why, man?
And from March to March, in North Carolina, there's been a decrease of about 8%. In South Carolina, nearly a 5% dip in foot traffic. Now, you can't say this is connected to the boycott, but it does show things have changed.
And not only did we see it in North Carolina, but in other cities like Detroit.
Target is taking a financial hit after dropping its diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. The retail giant has reportedly lost more than $12.4 billion in revenue.
This comes as calls for boycotts against the retailer continue.
It hurt Target so much.
So if it never had DEI initiatives in the first place, and therefore didn't have to drop the DEI initiatives, I don't even think this would be a thing, which is crazy. And like I just showed, Walmart doesn't even have the initiatives. They dropped the initiatives too. So I don't know why Target is the one to suffer. Maybe they did it first. I'm not sure if there's a Walmart boycott going on too, but y'all are definitely not gonna affect Walmart's pockets.
That foot traffic decreased tremendously, and even Black-owned companies that were distributing their products with Target were getting called out on it, and it got seriously bad. But fast forward, let's go back to the Essence Festival. Now, remember, a lot of people had a lot to say about, Africans taking over Essence Festival and, in the Caribbean culture and fufu and other kind of jollof rice being there. That was a discrepancy. But another discrepancy was that the Essence Fest accepted a title sponsorship from Target. This was a slap in the face to a lot of people in the Black community, especially those who vote Democrat, because Essence is now getting out of touch with the culture. You could have went with anybody else, like Walmart, but purposely you disrespected.
Like I said, Walmart rolled back theirs too.
The Black community for money, and you know that Black America doesn't like Target right now.
When I look at Target and try to mute their colors to make it more palatable, maybe we see you and we skipping it. The line, thin.
That's called it. Keep on. We right. Damn.
Now, the Target booth at the Essence Festival, people were complaining about it because nobody really wanted to interact with it, according to some. And to make a bigger slap in the face, look at Caroline Wanga on LinkedIn. Now, Caroline A. Wanga, who is the current CEO of Essence, worked with Target. But if you look at what her LinkedIn says, clearly she says she's a DEI practitioner. So why did Caroline Wanga, who basically got her start with Target under DEI, and then also understanding that Target canceled DEI, why did she then, as a CEO, accept a title sponsorship for Essence Fest, knowing that black people would not like Target, even though they canceled DEI? And she's a DEI practitioner? Huh? Exactly. Hypocrisy at its best. But fast forward.
Imagine being able to build anything, for any reason, in any style, at any.
The crazy thing is, the person that benefited from it the most isn't even tripping like that. That's one of the people who benefited from it. I'm sure a lot of these people that are boycotting have not benefited from Target's DEI practices, but she did, and she's not tripping about it.
Now we understand why the black community has an issue with Target. We would also understand why the black community would have an issue with anybody who wants to fool with Target. Again, according to most people in the black community, Target is taking opportunities away from African Americans by not hiring them, so therefore we shouldn't shop there. Any black person.
Are they really? Just because they got rid of initiatives that specifically look to hire black people, and they have to hire people to look into these pathways. Their only job is to look. It's so stupid.
Who deals with Target is not on code. Now we have the situation with Cenat and AMP. Now you guys know that Cenat is probably the #1 streamer on Twitch right now. I mean, he's the #1 streamer in the world. I think it's iShowSpeed, but Cenat is huge. He's a very talented guy, and he's a part of a larger group called AMP, which has, him, Duke Dennis, Agent Zero, Chris, a whole bunch of other guys, right? And they have this product called Tone. Now, Tone is like a product that you can buy, and it includes like deodorants and body wash and stuff like that. And because their audience is so huge, a lot of big YouTubers that have this following can sell in stores. And so they could put this product anywhere, and most likely it would sell out. This particular partnership went to Target. And so when it went to Target, people were upset about it because of how the black community feels about Target. And not only did the partnership go to Target, they started streaming giveaways in Target.
Oh, wait, hold on. What's the total?
It's gonna be $1,406.
14. Look, $1,400. Y'all did good.
Now, once this started happening, a lot of people in the community started trying to give some advice to AMP and Cenat because they felt that, hey, man, you guys are making the wrong decision.
This is a message for the AMP group, the streamers. I was just giving y'all some great credit, man, because I love the way y'all work together. But you have to be careful, man. Do not let corporate utilize y'all. And what they're going to end up doing is going to create brand, right, unalignment or misalignment, rather, to where they're trying to use you all to divide and conquer, right? They believe they can get the demographic of young folks to start supporting Target again. Then it would diminish this whole movement that is boycotting Target. Anytime your people are doing something, whether you agree with it or disagree with it, everybody should be on point.
Whether you agree with it or disagree with it, everybody should be on point. So they supposed to hurt their pockets, because I'm sure Target probably gave them the best deal. They didn't just not look in other areas to get this partnership to stream. They're streaming in Targets. I'm sure they looked in other avenues to see who would give them the best deal, and Target gave them the best deal. Man.
You understand me? If people want to support y'all brand, they can take their ass online. But I don't want to see y'all helping them increase foot traffic into Target, regardless of what y'all business deal or structure is. The whole thing that y'all have is y'all power is independence. But you have to always focus on your brand alignment and be careful of your associations, right? Because in the long term, they may not lose, but you will.
And the criticism came deep. Folks started coming after AMP, started coming after Kai Cenat and calling them all sellouts because, hey, all of you guys are black and the black community is supporting you guys. And then you're out there putting your product in Target, which is against the black community. And one of the people that came out against that from AMP was Dennis Duke.
Like, bro, no cap, they are lying though. That's the crazy part. Like, the same people who got something to say, you telling me that if you had your product and Target was like, hey, can we please put your product in our store? You would say, no. Shut the fuck up. That's what I'm talking about.
Now, Dennis Duke is telling everybody, like, yo, like, bro, like, shut up. Like, you guys will put the product into Target if you want it, like, if you could do it, but you can't, and that's why you're hating. And this caused a big backlash.
The fact that Duke Dennis tried to get on here and lie and say that Target was not losing money like they thought they would. First of all, we don't listen to nobody who lies about how many kids they got. Second of all, you lied about how many kids you got. I can't take advice from you. Third of all, you lied about having kids. I can't trust your research. You don't even know how many kids you got.
Did he lie or did he lie or just not say anything about them? I never heard a clip where he said he didn't have any kids. He just said he didn't want to talk about his family. He said he doesn't want to bring them into his social media life.
And it continued to go forward.
The only thing scarier than a white man is a black man that's trying to imitate whiteness through capitalism, because there's nothing that he won't do in order to reach his goal of whiteness. I think this Target situation with AMP convinced me that almost all of them voted for Trump. What first convinced me was when Duke Dennis went on Quinn Blackwell's cooking show and she asked him who he voted for and he said, I don't know, I don't want to talk about it. And that right there told me, because it's like, if you voted for Kamala, you would say you voted for Kamala. But like the overnight stream at a Target is crazy. Especially knowing that black folks and people of color are boycotting Target because they threw out their DEI. It's really tone deaf and irresponsible.
But another big part is Kai Cenat. Now, Kai Cenat is a guy who is, from New York with a deep New York accent. If you look at him, you may not know what his background is, but I believe he's like Trinidadian and Grenadian. I'm not sure. But when they signed the deal with Target, then people remember this clip.
You're African American, bro. That's it. You're not Trinidadian. You're not Jamaican. You're not African. You're not. Word. You're not Ghanaian. You're not Dominican. You're not Puerto Rican. You're not Cuban. You are American.
Now, I don't want to take him out of context, but it appears to me that he's saying that, you're just black. You don't have culture like Ghanaians, or you don't have cultures like Trinidadians and the other people. And again, that's kind of how people feel about, Caroline Wanga and the rest of the Africans who are now in control of Essence Fest. And so now it's like, okay, on one hand, you're acting like us, Kai Cenat, like, your culture is very East Coast African American. And then at the same time, you're telling us that we don't have any culture. And then you're moving along with Target, who completely has turned their back on the black community, according to those. Because, stop the show. I don't agree with DI. I don't care anything about DI at all. But understanding that the community does care about DEI, it's a slap in the face. And then when you go back and you look at a clip from Kai.
The community, most of the people who watch Kai Cenat are not worried about this. This is not, the people that watch Kai Cenat and AMP are not worried about, they're not, I don't think that this is the overlap. The overlap is fully there. It may be a few, but I'm sure that majority of Kai Cenat's audience were not boycotting Target. The majority. Mainly, most of them are kids, I'm sure. But even the young adults, the 18 through 25 crowd that watch him, they're not boycotting Target. They're not, all into that.
It's not, then it's almost obvious. It's like, okay, you can use the culture to basically become us, and then when it doesn't benefit you, you can go and go to Target and stuff like that. Again, this is kind of what happens. I mean, and people do this even in the black community. But again, if you're gonna market yourself to the black community, you're gonna have to understand what they like. And this goes for Essence Fest.
He's not marketing himself to them though. He thinks just because he's marketing himself to a part of the black community doesn't mean that everybody in the community is involved in this type stuff. I've never even heard of Essence Fest. Like, come on now.
Now, on one hand, I can say, look, they own the festival and they own what they have, and they should be really concerned about black American culture, right? And again, Kai Cenat with the Target and all that stuff, hey, they could be like taking their product to someplace else, Walmart, and clearly what Target wants to do is to get the black base back buying in Target, right? But here's the situation. These guys have a bigger audience, much larger than black America. That's the thing. Kai Cenat is just not a superstar amongst black people. He's a superstar everywhere. Not as big as Ice Show Speed, but he's close, right? And so the reality is that these guys don't care about Target. They're out of touch. They don't have the problems that, that you have, or maybe I have, or anything like that. And so to expect these guys who are young and don't really understand the struggle and they're rich to understand what you're going through and take a stand is crazy. I mean, I get what you're saying, right? I understand Essence should be doing that because Essence built their brand based on the black community. But
all right, I'm done. But the people that support Kai, the people that are subbed to Kai, like on Twitch, I'm not sure if many of you know, but on Twitch, you sub to people and basically give them money monthly. The people that are subbed to Kai, I'm sure majority of them are not into this Essence boycotting Target because of DI is gone. They're not those type of people. These a lot of people know who Kai Cenat is, and the people that are mad at them mad are not supporters being mad. They're just the people that know of him that are being mad. They're I'm telling you, these aren't supporters that are getting mad over this. The supporters are probably really happy that they have a sponsorship with Target. This is crazy. But let me know what you think. I'm out.